did some laundry and got the windshield fixed. Pretty exciting. So now we're heading south and going to the coast. It's supposed to be a really pretty drive, so stay tuned. We're on our way towards Homer from Anchorage today, and the views have just been stunning. We had to stop here at this little viewpoint. Apparently we're next to Kenai Lake. I think I'm saying that right, but I may be wrong. But it's just amazing. The fall colors. The water is pretty blue, like we saw back around Glacier National Park. I think what we've learned is that these blue waters come from glaciers. Oh, it's just incredible. So pretty. Oh my gosh, look, that's a glacier. We're coming into Homer now, and these views are so stunning. There's so many mountains. Oh, and there's glaciers in the distance. We're gonna stay out on the spit tonight, so we're heading that way. Oh my gosh, this is a lot. Just take in. You see that? It doesn't even look real. It looks like a painting. Something out of a fairy tale.
All right, so we made it to Homer, Alaska, and we're out on the spit. We just got our campsite, which is behind us. We're right next to a large fishing boat repair shop. So I'll show you our neighbors here. Three pretty large fishing boats. We've got the Katrina M, Ocean Falcon, and Ursus, I believe, from Kodiak, Alaska. There's only a couple restaurants open this time of year. There's probably, I don't know, 20 restaurants on this strip, if not more, but for the most part they all close in September at some point, and it's October 5th today, so they're all closed. But luckily one of the locals that I called up from one of the shops recommended what's this spot we're going to called? The Lone Point or something?
I don't know, it's at Land's End.
Oh, yeah, it's at the Land's End Hotel, and I think the name of the restaurant might be Land's End as well. But it's about a 1.2 mile walk for us. Looks like there's some rain maybe off in the distance that we can see in the mountains. We've got our rain jackets and an umbrella though. Hopefully that's enough. We'll see. We're ready for some good seafood though. So there off in the distance you can see the mountains. And there's actually surprisingly 5 different glaciers in those mountain ranges that we were able to see when it was a little bit clearer when we came in. And then off to the left we've got a very large marina. You can see quite a few of the masts of the sailboats sticking up. But I don't know, there's maybe 200 boats over there. But yeah, we're just walking down this road on the spit, going to the end of the road where hopefully the restaurant's still open and will serve us. Yeah, and here's the view off this way. Got some water in the bay, and you can see the mainland of Alaska back there. And that's Russia somewhere off in the distance. Just kidding, I can't actually see Russia from here. We're not very close to there. Alright, so we made it to dinner. Luckily we didn't get rained on. The rain stayed off in the distance in the mountains across the bay. The name of this restaurant is actually the Chart Room, and it is at Land's End. So it's pretty much the south end of the spit where the road stops. We're really happy with this restaurant so far. It looks super fancy. Our first course is on the table, and it is actually a golden beet salad. What's a golden beet? I didn't know either. It comes from Oregon, and they slice it up here and put it on this salad. All right, Rachel, we've tried the golden beets. What do you think?
They're very good. They're a little less earthy than the typical beet, a little bit more mild. It's good. Delicious.
All right, second course is here. The king crab, 16 ounce. Looks pretty delicious. 4 yummy legs, a palm, and a bowl of butter, some asparagus, and some potatoes. And we've got our crab crunchers in tiny forks and ready to chow down.
Cheers, guys.
So we got some dessert. It's vanishing peanut butter pie. We had intentions of filming it before we started eating, but we forgot about the film when we saw the cake, and we just started eating the cake. So we had a few bites already, but most of it's still there for you to see, so here it is. We're gonna finish eating it now. It's pretty good. So we're walking back from dinner at the chart room. On our way up, we walked past the marina. We didn't actually get right up against it, but now we are, and my estimation of 200 boats, I think, was off.
Way off.
I think there's significantly more than 200 boats here. And the water is so calm. It looks like a perfect mirror, especially with those posts and some of the boats that are close to the edge of the dock. The reflection is perfect coming back to us.
Good morning. We are hanging out in Homer still this morning. We did some cleaning and put away some laundry today, did some chores, and now we're trying to figure out what we're gonna do today. So we're sitting here, we're at our camp spot, little city campground right on the water. I don't think you can see it, but we were sitting here talking and a little sea otter popped its head out of the water. I think it's still sitting there floating maybe on its back, but all you can see I think is the tip of its nose. It's nice and calm this morning though. Some of the fog is still burning off over by the mountains. Very pretty. It's maybe in the 50s today. It's a little bit warmer here than what we've had for the last week or two. We're trying to decide what we're going to do for the day. And really the next couple days we have some very cold weather, actually Arctic weather coming in, and so we need to get the heck out of Dodge. So we're trying to plan out our route for the next few days. Still have a few things we want to see in Alaska, but obviously we also need to not be where it's really, really cold, just since the camper isn't winterized. So still trying to figure that out, but I think we've got a decent plan. We were hoping, oh, I'm gonna flip it around. I think there's another sea otter swimming. I don't know if you can see it. Or maybe it's a seal. That looks pretty big. I don't know. Oh, how cool. Anyways, we're hoping to do a water taxi wildlife tour while we were either here in Homer or in our next location, but we're just not sure if it's going to work out given our time frame for making it out of Alaska in the cold weather. Oh, that was a seal. I just saw its body. How cool. It went down in the water. Well, apparently we don't need to do a wildlife tour. We could just sit right here today. So anyways, we'll see if we come up with anything that works out for that. If not, we're just going to enjoy the beach, I think, before we head on to our next destination.
a good a day as any to start the rebuilding of life. The roads that lay open are many when the old one's gone under the knife. And I can feel the sun on my skin.
We're just going for a little walk here and thought we'd show you some of the things we see. First up, we have a little jellyfish washed up.
Beginning to thaw from within. Today and not tomorrow, there's no time to borrow. Today is a good day to live.
Alright, we made it back to the camper. Definitely not bad views on either side of the spit.
Right now, we're heading out from the Homer Spit. It's 4.5 miles long. It's actually the longest spit in the world. And I was unfamiliar with the term spit as well. But what it actually is called it's a terminal moraine. And Kachemak Bay used to actually be completely filled with a glacier. And this strip of land that we're driving on now was actually what the glacier pushed up as it made its way down the valley. And then the glacier actually melted and receded, and this little strip of land, terminal moraine or spit, was left behind. It's pretty wild how long it is and how large the bay is. It's tough for me to comprehend. That was a huge glacier that once filled this bay. Pretty wild to think about for sure.
This morning has so clear a light as any to see the horizon in the far. Excuses were 2 for a penny, but they've all gone out the window of this car. And when I feel the wind on my face.
We just made a quick stop. We left Homer a little while ago. We're about an hour from Seward, but these views were too good not to show you guys. It's just stunning. That blue water again. Just never gets old.
Today and not tomorrow, there's no time to borrow. Today, well, something's gotta give. Today is a good day. Today and not tomorrow, there's no time to borrow. Today, well, something's gotta give. Today is a good day to
Well, we made it to Seward. It was a quick stop though because of the impending weather, so we didn't really film much. The next morning we hit the road to stay ahead of the cold and snow. It was time to start making our way south.
Today and not tomorrow, there's no time to borrow. Today, well, something's gotta give. Today is a good day to
beach this morning. We left Seward bright and early before the sun was up. We didn't show you guys much of Seward yesterday. It was really a pretty quick trip in, but it was a really pretty coastal town, quite a bit bigger than Homer actually. It seemed like there was a lot of industry going on along the water there, and I think a lot of cruise ships go through there in the summertime, but a lot of things were shut down. It was a little bit cool out, but still very pretty on the water. We slept last night to the sound machine of small little waves coming in on the rocks. It was really nice. We saw a couple of bald eagles when we got the kitties out for their walks. Nettie seemed aware. She was pretty nervous, so she stayed in her backpack most of the time, but Tyga didn't seem to be fazed and stayed out for a good bit, but that was pretty cool. We even saw a couple seals. We think maybe one of them was a mommy and a baby, and they were really cute. They were just kind of bobbing their heads out of the water a little bit here and there, but lots of little sea life. It was a nice town. We went and got some seafood last night. That was very tasty. But anyways, we couldn't stay long. Unfortunately, the weather has been kind of coming in, and winter is coming, it seems. So we've got to make our way out of Alaska. So we would have liked to stay in Homer and Seward quite a bit longer than we did, but we're heading back now. So we're hoping to make it all the way to Tok, Alaska today, which is only a couple hours from the Canadian border up in the Yukon. So we've got quite a bit of ground to make today, but we just headed through Turnagain Arm, which is a really pretty spot. It's just this beautiful, I don't know, it kind of seems like an inlet to me, but I'm not sure if that's the correct term. But it's really pretty with the mountain views all around and the water. When we came through a few days ago, we had attempted to catch the boar tide that comes in here. There's only a couple places in the world where you can see the boar tide, which is affected by the moon. So sometimes the boar tide is big enough where people can actually surf on it. But unfortunately, when we came through, it was a really small one, and we actually didn't seem to see it. So I don't know if we just weren't quite in the right area or if you needed binoculars, but sadly we missed it. But there wasn't one coming in today until later this afternoon, and we don't seem to have the time to stay. So we're gonna head on, but it sure is a pretty area. When we stopped and took some pictures today, it was super windy, so we couldn't really show you and talk about it at the same time. But we're headed onward. We're probably maybe 30 minutes out from Anchorage at this point, and then we're gonna keep it on.
Misty mountains, dusty roads ahead, crossing rivers, dreaming of a bed from a window in the mighty clouds up high. I can touch a stream of gold above, breaking through with hope of light and love, giving peace of mind to those of us who try.
Alright, so over there you can kind of see Matanuska Glacier. That's what we were walking on the other day with our crampons. You can definitely see much more of it from this vantage point.
Try to make a way.
So these birds must be using the same weather app as us. We've seen flocks on flocks of them just heading south for the weather coming this weekend. Winter is coming, we must flee.
Try to make a way.